Hey y'all, iRick Guy here, and I want to take a moment to review the Tudor Chrono, the Tudor Black Bay Chrono, and this is the inverted Panda, or reverse Panda. And I just want to talk about it, and why did I go with the reverse Panda, meaning that it has the black dial and the white subdials. Why did I go with the reverse Panda instead of the Panda having white dial and black subdials? Well, we're going to talk about that in a lot of depth here. First of all, I just want to give you an overall honest opinions of the piece. Now, this timepiece punches way beyond its weight, meaning that it's 41 millimeters. It's very affordable for the type of piece that it is. The bracelet is great. You know, it's got these faux rivets. That's a point of controversy with some people, but for me, the faux rivets don't bother me. I really enjoy the gives it kind of an old school type look, and that's why they put them on there. The bezel, of course, is aluminum, so the value add of an aluminum bezel is that over time it should develop a patina. Now, if you have a ceramic bezel, more than likely that ceramic bezel is probably always going to look the same. You know, it's probably not going to change color as it gets older. It's probably not going to scratch. It's probably not going to fade. This piece is unique because it has a date at the 6 o'clock position, but it does not have a cyclops. So the sapphire, even though it's a dome sapphire, it's flat. It's free of a cyclops, and that's something a lot of people like. The case back, if you're familiar with Rolex, it's an oyster style case back. Feels very good on your wrist. The case height of this, although a lot of people in the beginning, they kind of complained. They said, oh, you know, that's a chunky monkey, man. It fits too high on one's wrist. It fits too tall on one's wrist. Actually, it doesn't. I found this to be perfectly proportional, this being a 41 millimeter timepiece. Now, I also have the Black Bay 58, which is 39 mil, which is a little bit less case height, but both are very proportional. Because, see, this bracelet is wider than the Black Bay 58. Check out my separate video where I compare this to the Black Bay 58. So this bracelet's a lot wider, so the proportions are all perfect in my opinion. The crown is not too large in my opinion. The pushers are not too large in my opinion. One thing I love about the pushers is that they have screw down. So see, they're screwed down. And what does that mean? Well, if you want to complain about it, it means that you got to unscrew them before you can engage the chronograph complication, the stopwatch complication. But if you want to look at it in a positive way, what it means is that these are screwed down, so you've got a highly water resistant chronograph. And that's very rare for chronographs to have. You know, if you look at a competitor, for example, the Omega Speedmaster Man on the Moon, it does not have screw down, it does not have screw down pushers. This does. So this has a stated water resistance of 200 meters or 660 feet. So I can swim with it. I have swum with it already. No problems at all. I mean, this is a very very robust piece. It's got the flip lock type clasp. If you're familiar with Rolex, the little bit the point clasp is very similar. Sorry, I got choked on a bug. A bug flew in my mouth. Hold on. Ooh, gotta get some water. H2O. Okay, back in action here. So, yep, so you got the black dial and the white subdials. Actually, they're kind of more of a silvery color. And I'm going to check out my other videos too. Subscribe to my channel, check out my playlist, and I've got a lot of them where I just do some really good macro shots of this. But when you look at these, when you look at the subdials, they've kind of got like a crater look. So it adds a dimensional element to it. The red, where it says 200 meters, 660 feet, that's a huge thing. If you're familiar with Rolex, you know that red is significant. It's also got a red tip on the chronograph's hand. So you know, there's a lot going on with this piece, and again, it punches way beyond its weight. way beyond its price point in my opinion. I mean, you're getting an exceptional piece. You're getting high level water resistance. You're getting the aluminum bezel, which should develop a pleasing patina over time. You've got a very simple dial. Now the snowflake hand, that is a point of controversy, because when the hour hand passes over the subdials, it is rather large. It doesn't obstruct the entire subdial, but it does obstruct it enough to where people can complain. And a lot of people are complaining because these things are hard to find, and they're just trying to find things to pick, to poke fun at, and that's fine. I mean, I can understand being upset because certain pieces are harder to source, but all in all, I mean, I'm super happy. I've only had this for a few days, but my few days on the wrist, it's been very enjoyable. Haven't had any complaints. I'm going to put it back on the wrist so you can see. So now I like my watches. I like them a little bit more fitted. See, I do my little pinky test. I stick my pinky in. This is how I like to wear them. But I mean, this thing on the wrist, I've got a 7.5-inch wrist. It looks phenomenal in my opinion. And having it fitted like I do, it doesn't try to spin around. Some people put their bracelet they make their bracelet too loose where it goes around their wrist. And again, personal preference. But see, this is perfect. It just stays right where it needs to be on my 7.5-inch wrist. It can go this way, it can go that way, but it's never all wonky. It's never off to the side. It's like like it should be. And the fit is great. You can see there the pushers on that side, and you can see the case height on that side. Again, in my opinion, completely acceptable case height, but that was a point of concern because buying this sight unseen, never put it on my wrist. It was a gamble because I'm like, ooh, is that going to be too tall? Now, keep in mind, this is the current reference. The previous reference of the Tudor Chrono, the Tudor Black Bay Chrono, was a little bit taller on one's wrist. So they've reduced the case height a little bit. And I'm not going to say, oh man, they reduced it a lot. What they did, they put the dial closer to the sapphire. So they were able to then reduce the height of the case by, it was a millimeter. I mean, it's something, not that much, but it is less tall. So I think the proportions are perfect. And actually, I was kind of hoping I was going to hold out and be like, oh man, they're going to release a Black Bay 58 Chrono, this 39 millimeter or something like that. But after getting this, I wouldn't want a smaller one. I think 41 millimeter for the Chrono, especially with a 7.5-inch wrist, I think it's perfect. So I don't have any complaints. It's just a perfect piece. Am I glad I went with the inverted Panda, the reverse Panda, the black dial? Without a doubt. And that's something I wanted to talk about with the reverse Panda. The red and then the white hands. The primary thing is that these white hands, they stand out better against the black primary dial than they do the white primary dial. So that's the main reason I went with it. Also keep in mind that if you have a black dial, the black primary dial versus a white primary dial, white dials on a watch, the perception is that they wear larger. Even though they're not larger, it's the same size piece. If this had the white dial, it would appear to be larger on the wrist just because of white instead of black. I don't know why it works like that. If you know why, comment below, but it's the truth. So if you want it to look bigger, then you might want to go with the with the white dial. But I think this in 41 millimeters, and again, I would not get it on the bun strap or the canvas strap. You can always add an aftermarket strap. Get it on the stainless steel bracelet because it really sets it off. It looks perfect. Again, it's something you can, with your crown screwed, with your pushers and your crown screwed down properly, you can swim with it with confidence. You can time stuff if you want to. It's just a really outstanding piece. And again, the bracelet is super comfortable. I mean, as one would expect from, Rolex. And again, I keep saying Rolex because Tudor is Rolex's sister brand. But yeah, it's just a very, if you've got any Rolexes, it's very similar. Now, this does not have anything like the micro, at least this reference doesn't have anything like the glide lock on the Rolex, so you can't make micro adjustments. You can adjust right here in the clasp. There's 3 points you can adjust. And then obviously you can remove the links. For my 7.5-inch wrist, to get it like I've got it, and I'd have to look in my box, but I think it was either 2 or 3 links out. and that's how I got it to fit me perfectly, how I like it, just so I can stick my pinky in there. So yeah, great timepiece. If you're looking for something that's not a Daytona, if you're looking for something that's not a Speedmaster, but something that I feel will more than likely become a future classic, I would highly recommend the Tudor Chrono Black Bay, the Tudor Black Bay Chrono in 41mm. And again, I would steer you towards the reverse Panda like this, the inverted Panda with the black dial over the white dial, unless you just definitely want white, or maybe you've got a huge wrist and you want the white to make it look a little bit, to appear visually a little bit larger. Again, it's all about personal preference. I don't have anything negative to say about this. Well, yeah, actually I do. So the negative thing I can say about it is that the
Sorry, could you say that again? Sorry, I couldn't hear what you said.
That's my little fitness tracker thing on my wrist, on my other wrist. So yeah, the only negative thing I would say, and it doesn't bother me, these faux rivets, why couldn't they have just eliminated the rivets, or why couldn't they have put real rivets on there? Again, it's cosmetic, and when you're wearing this thing, you don't even notice it. At least I don't. And then the other thing, that's a fair point about the snowflake hour hand obstructing the two subdials as it passes, but that's part of the Tudor's DNA. You know, these snowflake hands. So that would be like on a Rolex Submariner taking the Mercedes hand off. You know, it would do away with its identity. So I think that's important that that's there. It doesn't bother me, but I did want to point that out. I'm just trying to think of anything to complain about. Oh, another positive that I had. See right here where the little flip-lock style clasp is or whatever? It's got those little white balls in there. And I think they're made out of, I forget the material, but comment below if you know. But it's just something that should add to the longevity. You know, as you open and close this, it should make it last longer. So, you know, just it's fine. It's the small touches like that that really make this an exceptional piece. And then of course the back, as you can see, oyster style, Rolex oyster style case back. So, you know, there's no compromises in quality here. And the weight of this, I find it to be perfect. It's not too heavy, it's not too light. Obviously it is a stainless steel piece. I'm personally not a fan of titanium watches, just personal preference. I don't like the weight. I want something that has a little bit of heft to it, and this definitely does. So yeah, if you're on the fence, if you want to add a chrono and you don't want to wait around for a Daytona, or you don't want to get the Omega Speedmaster, which Omega Speedmaster is a great watch, but keep in mind with Omega Speedmaster you don't get the screw down pushers. So if you plan to wear it anywhere, swim with it like you might with your Submariner or your GMT Master 2, you probably want to go this way. And it's unique. This has been out not that long. You'll see less of these in the wild. So if you want something that's unique and you're not just following the bandwagon or whatever, this is a great option to consider, and I highly recommend it. So hope this video helped. Subscribe to my channel, ring that bell icon when you do. That'll notify you whenever I post another video. And check out all my timepieces for tomorrow videos. And also my timepieces for tomorrow live shows. And if you'd like to be a guest, just drop me a message and I'll add you to my list, because I'm always looking for people to join the live shows and have entertaining and possibly educational wristwatch conversations. Thanks for your viewership, and y'all have a good day. Hey y'all, Captain Irix Guy here. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. If you did, please be sure to subscribe. It's youtube.com/Irix Guy. And ring that bell icon when you do to be notified whenever I post another video. Thanks for your viewership, and y'all have a good day.